I'll just tell you how I went back and forth. And I'll start off with my childhood. I grew up in Horsham, and I was always an overweight kid. I played all the sports, but I had a regular standard American diet. Just eating, regular foods that everybody eats. That you buy at the grocery store. Eating the McDonald's, whatever. And so I was always overweight. By the time I got to high school, I made some bad choices. I actually got involved with drugs and alcohol, and I started doing that, and I let that take over my life. And I finally I got help with that, and I was able to put that stuff down, but I was still, I was unhealthy, and it was all because of what I was putting in me still. I was smoking cigarettes, and I was eating, the regular meat, dairy, and all that stuff. We'll go with, during that time, when I was 18, I started having seizures. 17, I started having seizures. And they put me on medication, Dilantin. And I was taking the Dilantin. I was taking depression medication for bipolar disorder. I was taking Seroquel to help me sleep at night. And I was just putting all these medications in my body. And still eating the same, still being overweight, still not feeling right, always tired. And I was still having seizures too. So they would just up the dose. I was taking up to 6 pills of just the Dilantin. I was taking 100 milligrams of the Seroquel. I was taking something else. It was lithium. It was lithium.
For depression.
For depression. I think that was 300 milligrams. Might have been 2 times a day. So I put down the drugs, the alcohol. I'm on the medication. I'm still eating unhealthy. I meet my daughter's mother, who I'm not with currently, who once lived with Arnold and was talking about the raw food and stuff like that. And I just laughed it off.
You did.
I said, what a joke. I said, because I was conditioned already a certain way, that to eat, and I grew up that way, that food is food, you eat whatever when you're hungry, And so I laughed it off, and I thought, yeah, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a lunatic, And I kept doing what I was doing, and so I still was sick, I was still unhealthy. We broke up. I started really getting into the gym, lifting weights and running a little bit, and still eating meat, still eating dairy. And so now I'm trying to exercise, still taking the medication. So now I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to get healthier, but nothing was changing, I was still always a big guy, I guess I'm a big guy just naturally or whatever. I see Arnold, after I'm getting sick and tired of taking all these pills, I'm like, something's got to give, and I start giving it thought, maybe it is what I'm putting in my body, maybe I do need to change my diet, maybe I do need to stop the meat and the dairy, and I knew some other people that were vegan, and another person that came here. So now I'm starting to think about it, and being a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more willing to try. And as I'm contemplating this, and I'm telling myself, maybe I should give this a chance, I run into Arnold at a bonfire, and he's there. I'm like, what the heck? And at this time, I lost 60 pounds on the raw food diet. At this time, so I'm heavy. I'm like about 280. I had long hair at the time, some dreaded, and I see him and I come up to him and say, "You're Arnold, right?" And he was like, and I was like, "I'm Chuck, Chrissy's, ex." And he was like, "Oh, how you doing?" He probably heard stories about me from her since we split up. Yeah. And I was like, I need your help. I wanted to talk to you. And he goes, "Really?" He was so surprised because he knew how I felt originally, so closed-minded about everything. And I said, "I need your help." And so he said, "All right, come in." So I come in, and I did his $9 a month program.
I didn't charge you, did I?
Oh no, the first month was free.
First month was free.
Woo! Hey!
Generosity.
I told him my situation. I told him about the medication that I was on, the seizures I was having, how they kept upping the dose. I told him about the bipolar disorder and the medication I was on for that, my sleep problems. He goes, I'm pretty sure that that will change. So I started the diet, and at that time I was...
That's give me 30 days?
Yeah.
I just say that.
Yeah, 30 days.
Give me 30 days.
I ended up coming here for 6 months.
6 months,
literally
yeah.
every day.
Literally every day.
During that time, I was landscaping, so I was just bringing smoothies and bananas to work, and coming here after work, hanging out, talking to other people, and weight was just falling off. Like, that was my first thing. Weight was just falling off within the first month because I was so active with it. And I, walking all day and working. I lost 45 pounds in like 30 days. I just dropped. And, I was working, I was going to the gym every day, and I was eating just mainly bananas, the smoothies, the meals here, avocados. I'm a big fan of them. And I was like maybe a handful of nuts. I was eating nuts too. But my, I guess they call it, my staple was bananas. I ate like 20 a day, always just popping them in. And I bought cases at Giant, and had bananas in the back of my car. And I came here. And and during that time, I should say that I was also smoking cigarettes when I first came here. And I was smoking a cigarette and eating all this, raw food diet. And every time I had a cigarette, it was so disgusting. But yet, I guess I was addicted to it because 10 or 15 minutes later, I had another one. And I kept doing it. And finally, I was like, I got to put these down. Like, it's so stupid. So I quit smoking. And I kept doing this. And I'm thinking, I'm feeling pretty good. And I forgot to add in there, I was also experiencing my left leg would swell up every day from being on it, from being big, fill up with water. It looked like a football at the end of the day. So I was wearing compression stockings, and at least every year, it seemed like every July or August, I was back in the hospital with a skin infection. I'd have cellulitis. So I must have been in the hospital 5 times for that. Yearly. It was really weird. It would just come back. I would go to the beach, and I'd come back, and the following week I'd have cellulitis. And it's very painful if you haven't had it. It feels like you're on fire. So my legs swelling up. I started doing this. Within the first month, my legs stopped swelling up. There was no longer any inflammation. I was fine. So that went away. And I'm still taking this medication, and I'm like, you know what? And I'm not a doctor, and I don't recommend it. I don't suggest it to anyone. But in my mind, I said, I don't think I need this. So I weaned myself off of it, thinking that's what a doctor would tell me to do. So I just did that, and I weaned myself off for like, I guess, tapered off of it for like, 2 weeks. I got rid of it. I got rid of the depression medication, got rid of the sleep medication, because now when I eat this way, my body, I get a good night's sleep, I wake up, I'm charged, I'm energized, and I keep going. It was all the crap that I was putting in me that was like screwing my system up, I wasn't getting a good night's sleep, I wasn't digesting properly, but raw food, you eat it, it alkalizes your body, and you get it out of you, and your body has that environment that it needs to heal itself and to thrive, and that's what I was looking for. After like having like a lot of bad choices in my past, now I wanted optimum health, and I wanted to take that journey, and it is a journey, like, you can learn from your mistakes, like I continually will make a mistake and eat something that I shouldn't have ate, like whether it doesn't go well with me or if I mix certain fruits together, and I learned from that, So now I get rid of the medication, and now I'm I got down from I was 270, and I got down to 205. So that's 65 pounds. And I'm thriving, I'm running, I'm working out, I'm eating the raw food diet, and I'm doing great. And I continued that diet for an entire year, right? And I'm off the medication, I didn't have any seizures, I'm feeling the best I ever had. So I had some changes going on in my life, right, where I got full custody of my daughter, I got promoted at work, so now I'm working all the time, and I got my daughter, I'm trying to take care of her, and I'm cooking for her because she won't eat my raw food diet. When she first came to live with me, she was 4.5 going on 5, and I thought, I'm going to make her smoothies every morning, and she's going to drink these smoothies, and the way I prep, whatever I feel like putting in it, so I was putting a lot of citrus in the smoothies, and she's coming to me and not used to eating that way. was making her drink the smoothie in the morning. Just drink it fast. We gotta go. You know, you gotta get to kindergarten. So I made her just down it. I don't like it. Just down it. So she downs it. She gets to school. I get a phone call. Come get her. She threw up. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should have made her do that. So I continue to allow her to eat, you know, what she would eat, you know, and give her vitamins and stuff. And I'm implementing the fruit with her now. But at that time, I started cooking for her, you know, chicken and meat and all that stuff. And I was still doing the raw food, mostly raw. I'd say 95%, because I sometimes would like steam vegetables or cook something, you know. But over time, I stopped coming here because I was so busy. And I guess my mind started playing tricks on me. And I went back to old habits. I'm cooking for her and I'm smelling it, right? So now, as I'm prepping these meals for her, and she's not finishing it all, I started eating. I started eating a little bit. I started eating meat again, and I started eating like dairy again. And still, what I learned here stuck with me. So I'm always like, no, I shouldn't do this, but I'm doing it, and I feel guilty about it. And but I'm still doing the smoothies at work, the bananas, and I'm starting to gain weight again, you know. And so weight's coming back on because I'm starting to eat, you know, what I shouldn't be eating. My legs started swelling up again, and I started getting inflammation in the leg. And I kept thinking, oh, I got to make it, you know, I'm doing the wrong thing again. So I struggled with that, and I knew I got to get back on track. So I came here, I started doing the vegan diet on my own, but I needed to go raw, and I knew this is the place to come for support and to talk to like-minded people who feel the same way. And with that, when you do it together, you have more of a motivation, you keep the knowledge fresh, and you go about it differently. You know, on my own, I can make some poor choices if I justify it in my head, but when I'm around like-minded people, I hear what I need to hear, and then I can take that with me and keep myself going. So my daughter came with me, and she's not completely, she's not vegan, but she does the program with me. So when I come here and I get my meal and smoothie, she's getting a banana whip and a smoothie, and that's getting her, you know, she's awakening to the idea. So now she's thinking about fruit. So in the morning, when she was eating bagels or cereal, now she's asking for fruit. You know, so she's slowly transitioning on her own by seeing what other people were doing, which is amazing. You know, because I don't want to force her. Because if I force her, she's going to want to rebel. At least that's what I did. You know, and this is the healthiest way for, you know, in my eyes, to live. All the changes that it's done in my life, you know, I'm not on medication. The seizures didn't come back, but they would have, because I was feeling different, you know, and I knew exactly what it was. And as soon as I went back on the raw food diet, my life's, I'm running sick. I wake up at 5 in the morning or 4:20 in the morning to get to the gym by 5 o'clock. I get to the gym, I lift weights, I do power sets, and then I jump on the treadmill and I run about average 5 miles. I got past 6 yesterday. I'm going for 7. I love running. I know it's bad on the knees, but well, I enjoy it. So I do the gym, I go to work, I come here with my daughter, and I pick her up from school. We have our meals here, you know, and then we go about our day. She has basketball, and she has violin, and stuff like that. And when I eat this way, I feel good about myself. I feel energized. I feel like I'm thriving. And I love life. You know, the energy here at Arnold's brings that to anybody who walks in the door. Can feel that there's something going on in this place that makes you feel great about yourself. You know, and I also believe in the whole, like, putting like that dead meat, like the dead souls in you, and how it doesn't agree with you. And I would like to say that before I did this, and I used to laugh about it, I worked at Hatfield Meats. And I got to see, you know, then they killed 10,000 pigs a day over there. And it's pretty sad to see how they go about doing that. And the mass murder that they commit every day, and what they do to feed people, you know, meat. And I'm glad I got away from that too. So this is a journey, and it's progress, not perfection. You make changes as you go. You can't be wrong. You can only learn. you know, and like I said, you know, I went from here, and I went from here to here to here to here to here to get where I'm at today. And like I said, I'm on a journey for optimal health. I use the raw food diet so I can thrive in life. You know, if I eat the other stuff, then I'm unhappy, I'm depressed, I can't sleep at night, I'm overweight, I'm sluggish, I don't want to do anything, I don't appreciate things, I'm not grateful. I eat this way, I meditate, I work out, I exercise, and it's a completely different person. 100% different, you know, and life's thriving, you know. And I've watched, you know, my medication stop. I watched my leg go from swelling to not swelling to swelling to not swelling, and the only thing that was different was my diet. The only thing different, you know. And I've met miracles in this room who have cured themselves of cancer, all different diseases that are up on the board, and it's amazing. What did they change? They changed their diet, what they consume. So it's what you put in your body, you know. That's what fuels you. And you want to put in chemicals. And I think the other thing, like I said, is like cravings. Like sometimes I do have cravings for things. And the way I look at that, like I said, I'm not a scholar or anything, but I was conditioned my whole entire life to eat a certain way. You know, things that have chemicals in it, things that, you know, that shouldn't have been, that are not natural. And I was putting them, my body changed and was taking these chemicals in and started living off of them. So for me to take them out of me, well, my body said, what the heck? For 30 years, you've been putting this in me. Now where'd it go? I need it. And I think that's how I describe my cravings. It's just my body saying, this has been in me for so long. You know, and that helps me stay away from it and realize that, you know, I'm changing. My body is changing. And it's all about being, the reason I like the raw is because they say you need an alkalized environment in your body. And disease can't thrive in an alkalized environment. So whenever I cook something, right away I'm thinking, now I'm changing, you know, I'm changing it from alkalized to acidic, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I try to make everything raw. You know, every now and then I'll eat something cooked, but majority, like I said, is smoothies in the day, bananas during the day, Arnold's meal, and sometimes another salad, and that's what I do. And as I go on this journey, and as I travel backwards, forwards, and all that, I learn. You know, and I'm going to continue to learn and do my best because, like I said, I want to live as long as possible, and I want to be there for my daughter, and I want to enjoy life. I want to be grateful for what I have, and I want to thrive. That's pretty much all I have for you.
Wow.
Any questions?